recognize when someone says your name, all I think of is Woodstock and don't eat the acid warnings. Okay? And yet watching the film, you realize that's almost like the midpoint of things that you've done. Right? Not even the midpoint, probably the third.
Yeah, I was right at the beginning. I was a teenage beatnik, then I segued into Hippieville, and then along came Woodstock, and then the Journey to the East, and Seva, and Camp with a Rainbow, which are the two really substantial meat and potatoes of my life.
I mean, do you feel
or tofu if you're a vegan.
And he's not the one who said don't eat the brown acid.
You weren't the one who said, oh.
That's Chipmunk, who had a voice like a melted Hershey bar being poured in your ear. If you have taken the brown acid, you have just been poisoned.
It was Wavy who sort of shifted the perception to
Yeah,
tell people they didn't take poison.
It's not right. It's just bad acid. Don't worry. It's going to go away.
Because my experiences around people who take a lot of acid is that, their biggest fatality, people wanting to choke them to death to shut them up and from telling you what they're seeing.
Oh yeah, man, you're melting. It's so cool.
It's 8 in the morning.
And I'm melting. We can melt together. Let's make a puddle.
But it's having been around people, it's one of those things where it's just like, well, it stopped. When does it stop now? I have to go to bed. But now
I always tell people when they call me up at 3 in the morning, oh man, I'm tripping. I says, listen to me. Listen very carefully. Go out to your car, go to the supermarket, get some root beer, vanilla ice cream. Come back, make a root beer float, drink it, eat it, and if you're still having a problem, call me back. I've never gotten called back. And that's in 30 years of giving this tip. Root beer float is the key.
Kind of breaks the fever of sorts, or
I've just invented one, espresso ice cream in Jones root beer is what am I calling it? Cafe root.
In the film, that this charity work keeps you even more happy.
I don't look at it
keeps
as
you active. Well, not charity work. I should say outpouring.
It's just like Kesey suggested, try and put your good where it'll do the most. And I was fortunate to be in the circle that Seva was created in, and it got me stoned beyond anything in the pharmaceutical cabinet. And so people ask me, why do you do this work, good work? I said, it gets me stoned. It gives me a buzz. And I think if you do it, you will get a buzz. Check it out. And it works if you work. I'm quoting Aldous Huxley's widow there, Laura Huxley. You are not the target.
But the thing about Wavy, even though he's had different, costumes, shall we say, right?
He bring me water.
There was always a message from when he was a beatnik. I mean, if you read his poetry from when he was Hugh Romney, you'll hear messages about, you'll read about taking care of each other. And, it's nothing that sort of
well, there's no, I mean, what's interesting about your story is there's no road to Damascus moment.
Right.
It's just,
falling off the ass. I've fallen on my ass at Woodstock in the mud. The minute I thought I was some kind of cool superhuman being, I would instantly fall on my ass in the mud. But if I surrendered to that amazing energy, I was able to do amazing stuff, although it wasn't me. I felt like a marionette being guided along, and I surrendered to those strings, and that is what I'm in the movie for, that buzz, that high. And it don't come that often. I got to spend a lot of time in the wings waiting to get pushed out into the great stage to do my big-time Wavy Gravy stuff, which I'm not even there. That's the most amazing things that I've done in my life. I found out sometimes years later.
I mean, it's not looking back at Woodstock, because, I mean, it's only 3 days, but it comes off as such an intense environment, especially the way you guys were in it. Was that, was that one of those things, you were ground zero with the food, which was essential at that point? How...
It's always essential.
When you think back at it, do you think it was a month-long thing. Do you almost like, does it become almost like a,
man,
a fishing trip?
Eternity now. That's how I look at it.
How long did you stay until after the show was over?
We had to get back rather quickly because we had an American Airlines Astrojet with our name on it that had been chartered. Unfortunately, we like to stay for the cleanup most of the time, but there were good people who stayed behind and picked up the stuff and reseated it. I'm sure. Have you gone and checked out that field? It's quite beautiful, and they put a museum right next to it, but not disturbing the integrity of that beautiful bowl.
Now, you were at the last Woodstock, too, the third one.
I was with all three of them. Like I tell people, the first one made me famous, and the second two get me paid. And the third Woodstock got a bad rep because Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit suggested to the audience they go out and destroy stuff. So they're all pumped up from Limp Bizkit, and these smiling, young, well-meaning Buddhists give them lit candles, and they immediately torched the semi. The festival was over. I was back in my hotel room. I turned on the TV. I could not believe it. And they showed that clip of skinheads jumping over fire over and over and over. Excuse me. There were 300,000 people at this event. There were 200 people involved in this incident, of which there were 6 arrests. Now, is that warrant being shown over and over to suggest that peace and love is dead in the 90s? Bullpucky, as they say around here. Excuse me, that's Saul getting excited. This is not the case. And what about the $4 water? Yeah, if you want iced French water in a little styly bottle. What about the free water coming out of the tap? Nobody brought that up, did they? So I just get really steamed when I talk about Woodstock 3.
Well, see, the story I'd heard... Oh.
We have time for one more.
Okay, well, the thing is, the story I had heard from somebody working there, because that was the one at the former Air Force Base, correct?
Yes.
That the security cameras were still active from back when it was a base, and he was like telling me that there were actual military guys observing and doing crowd interactions to see how people react in a great group as some sort of progress. I don't know if it was true or not, but it was like basically an experiment.
I somehow am suspicious of this.
That's what he had told me.
But you know that Fish often uses airfields to do concerts. Oh, yeah. And there was, Michael Lang is one element, and there was another Money People that were another element. And I was there for Michael, and I will be there at the 40th anniversary for Michael, wherever we end up. And there's lots of rumors. We're in Berlin, we're in Willits, we're in Flushing Meadow, circle 3 of the above and join hands.
So you'll be there no matter what?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Well, that's good. So
and I'll also be at the Gathering of the Vibes with Crosby, Stills and Nash, and that's a festival I do every year because I really believe in it. But most of the time, I'm at Camp Winter Rainbow with kids 7 to 14, and they just continue to melt my heart and give me nostalgia for the future.
And if anyone has kids that they'd like to send, they can look on the website?
That's campwinterrainbow.org, and I'm wavygravy.net.
And seva.org.
Seva.org, if you want to help blind people see again, just check out our website, and you'll look at all the concerts that we've done all over the years and the amazing musicians who have played. And this wonderful woman to my left is rippleeffectfilms.com. We're so calm.
One quick final question. Has Wavy Gravy ever met Meatloaf?
No, but I've met Groovy Movie.
Groovy Movie. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.